Welcome to Dodgers Daily. I'm Casey Porter. I'm so glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, we have a very special guest downtown Oklahoma City, Bricktown Ballpark, right-handed pitcher in the Dodgers organization. Landon Knack joins us. Landon, thank you so much.
I appreciate you having me, man.
First of all, great game last night, man. That was awesome. 5 pitches. Pitched great, didn't you?
Yeah, it was stuff that felt good right from the get-go, and yeah, it's always fun when you can put up some zeros for the guys.
Okay, so first of all, for those of us that didn't pitch professionally, take us through the day after you pitch, your routine, and your routine in between starts.
Yeah, the day after is it's a mixture of like recovery and you got to get a lift in. So the day after you show up, you do your conditioning to start the day. Do about either 30 minutes on like an elliptical or come out here, do a little bit of a run outside, and then get your lift in. It's always usually lower body day. Get like a little leg lift, and then hit the training room, get some little soft tissue. I'm a fan of needling after the day after. And so needles are kind of been my go-to for most of the season, and then the rest of the week, it's if it's a 5-day and not a 6, like kind of like a 6-day where a lot of the season is right here. If it's a 5-day, day 2 is when you would throw your bullpen, and that's when I would get my upper body lift in. And then
what percent would you throw that at?
Bullpen, depends on how we're feeling. If it's a 6-day and it's kind of that extra day before the pen, I'll throw it more, about like 90-95% intensity, like kind of get on it a little bit. If it's a 5-day, it'll be more about like 80-85%, kind of like just kind of work on stuff, get the feel for things, and then kind of the day 3 and day 4 leading up to your start day, it's kind of like another kind of recovery day from the bullpen, kind of do maybe like a full body circuit, and then day 4, just get in here, get like feel good, get your stuff, and then maybe do some sprints to kind of get your CNS moving.
I see the 89ers on your hat, the Oklahoma City club. Is the 89ers all weekend? Of course, I grew up in Oklahoma, so that means a lot to me, but I got to ask you have any clue what an 89er actually is?
No. I grew up in Tennessee. Obviously got some family out here, but never really heard too much about the 89ers.
Okay, 5 pitches, strike throwing with all of them. That takes a lot of skill, so talk about where your stuff's at right now.
Yeah, stuff has been really, really good lately. I feel like the first couple outings, once you kind of go from AA to AAA here, now that AA is back to using the minor league ball,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they switched back this year to the minor league ball, and so moving back to the big league ball, it's a little bit of a difference in kind of like the feel of the ball. It's a little slicker using the big league ball as compared to the minor league ball, and so it's like a little bit of an adjustment period with trying to find the same feel and everything for your pitches. But I feel like I've adjusted well now, and I really have a good feel for all 4 pitches actually. My tight slider reads as a cutter at times, but yeah, no. So it's all 4 pitches I've been feeling like really, really good lately. I feel like I'm landing all of them for strikes whenever I want to, and yeah, my stuff is feeling about as good as it ever has.
When you're on top of your game like you have been this year, what's your key?
Really, it's getting that secondary stuff going. So like this year especially, being able to kind of play off like the slider changeup combo of having both a little bit, and being able to land both, really keep them off balance. If I'm getting really both of those going, then things get much easier for me out there.
Okay, the transition from AA to AAA. You spent parts of 3 years in AA. That's a long grind, man. I get to see it all the time, and I can tell you that's a very long grind. So congratulations on completing that grind, the promotion to AAA. So in AA, you have all these young prospects, really talented guys. AAA, you have major league veterans that are down working on certain things to get back to the major leagues that probably have better plate discipline and all of that. So for a 4-pitch strike thrower like you, how's that transition been?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The guys here, there's a lot less chase, much more disciplined in bats. So you really gotta be like a little bit more like perfect with some of the stuff that you're doing. So because the amount of takes here where you miss just off, where like you get that swing in AA, you don't get that swing here sometimes. And so it's really just kind of like adjusting to that, figuring out when to throw what, and it's just like a much more of a like cat and mouse, like kind of mental game with the hitter.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're on the automated system, the ABS. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're on the challenge system. As a pitcher, do you have a preference?
Challenge system.
Yeah.
I like challenge system. The challenge system just feels more like the real, like a true like strike zone that we've all grown up with for so long. The challenge system I think is nice because there are some times that like being able to have that is good. But I think the pure full ABS right now, it is so small the way they have it currently. It takes a little bit of an adjustment to get used to it. I mean, which I've gotten used to it as well, so it doesn't really affect me while I'm out there. But I'd say the challenge system seems like more pure, better baseball.
Yeah. I do think where I saw you got a warning on the time clock last night. Is that correct?
Yeah, I tried to shake to get to a pitch, and we unfortunately didn't get there until too late. And actually, I had picked off twice and then stepped off instead of getting the violation, which I was on a 1-2 count. Probably should have taken the violation instead of letting the guy get up to second on the clock. So, but yeah.
I say that to say, hey, you're one of the fastest workers, which, hey, whether it's cold in April or whether it's extremely hot in August, your defenders absolutely love fast workers. So do you feel like you get better defense behind you working fast?
Absolutely. I've talked to all of our position players before, both here and in Tulsa. And yeah, all of them say they like the fast pace, keeps them engaged, keeps them on their toes, ready to go. The slower you kind of go, the more chance they have of kind of like getting back on their heels, being quite as ready. So it kind of keeps them engaged the entire time. And so I've always been a guy who tries to work fast, tries to keep them involved and keep things going.
And being a guy that needs to throw 4 pitches for a strike, it probably keeps you in a rhythm, doesn't it?
Absolutely it does. Yeah, I don't really like the kind of, which is why like the pitch clock hasn't been too bad for me, is that I like to work quick. I like to get in that rhythm, that feel of everything. And so kind of the pitch clock almost like feels like it keeps me in rhythm.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay, this may just be my perception, but from the very beginning of the year, and I posted this on social media several different times, you always pitch with a chip on your shoulder. But it just seemed like to me from the beginning of this year, all the way back to the start, you've had a little bit extra edge. Would that be correct?
Absolutely would be, yes. I think after kind of the way last year played out, I think a lot of people felt like they kind of wrote me off after the year, like I had some injury issues, had some other things. And kind of like seeing some of that, kind of like a little bit of a fire under me. And so kind of pitching with a little bit of that just to kind of remind them I'm still here. I still can do this at the highest level. And so yeah, absolutely, I'm always pitching with a little bit of chip.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so here we are. We're in AAA. First of all, you've had that long grind. How do you keep the thoughts out of your head, keep from pressing, knowing, hey, I've had this big long grind going all the way back to JUCO ball at Walters, and then East Tennessee State, and then being in AAA or AA for parts of 3 seasons. I've had this big long grind. Now I'm right here in AAA. How do you keep from pressing knowing you're that close?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as a human being, like the thought is going to creep into your mind. Like, that's where you want to be. That's like what you've been shooting for forever. But you also realize at the same time it's not going to do you any good. Just like kind of focus only on that and just kind of like almost like sulk over it of not quite being where you want to be and being that close though. So it's really like just trying to focus on staying in the moment, staying where your feet are, really like focusing day by day on taking care of what you can, because you can't control some of that. You can only take care of what you can. And so I just basically try to focus on everything I can take care of and let everything else take care of itself.
I know you grew up with Devin Mann in the system. Got to be happy for him in Kansas City, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm glad he's kind of going to get an opportunity over there, and so I was happy to see him kind of move on a little bit, because he's been so good, man. He plays everywhere on the field, man. Absolutely rakes at the plate. So he's a fun guy to be around, fun guy to watch, and so I'm happy for him.
No doubt about it. And hey, very happy for him, obviously. Kind of frustrated, though, that he didn't pitch and catch, because that would have completed all 9 positions.
Everything. I've been waiting on it. I feel like at some point they got to let him.
Yeah, he said he used to catch when he was younger and fatter, but then he kind of grew out of that. So
I was going to say, yeah, he's pretty athletic now.
Okay, so you have all this experience at professional baseball. So what things right now do you think you're good enough to be a consistent major leaguer right now?
I think I have the pitchability, the stuff to be able to pitch at the major league level right now. I think kind of keeping that consistency with a little bit of the velo. I know recently had a little bit of a dead arm period where kind of the velo kind of has like fluctuated a little bit. I think basically just keeping that consistent velo up right now is just kind of the last piece of that puzzle, just keeping things strong, because I think pitchability wise I have the stuff right now to be able to get outs up there at a high level.
What one thing or set of things are you working on the most?
Really just keeping the throw in the right place, so that makes it a little easier to keep that velo consistent. Because right now I feel like all my stuff is where I need it to be, just continuing to fine-tune a couple things here and there, but really just making sure that my throw is at its strongest spot.
I'm sure you're keeping Henny in your thoughts every single day. I know you guys were super close. On the days that you didn't pitch with Tulsa, I know you sat next to him, and he was really close to you. Of course, he's battling cancer now, so I'm sure you keep him in your thoughts.
Oh, absolutely, all the time, yeah. No, always thinking about Henny, trying to always kind of message with some of the guys back there, checking on him a little bit. I know Henny's a tough dude. I know he's battling his ass off over there. I know he's a guy he's going to beat this thing. You just know it. And so absolutely, always thoughts and prayers always going to Henny.
Okay, so message for kids. You know, you've got this long, hard road that we've talked about. You really grinded to get to where you're at. Message for kids to become a professional baseball player.
Yeah, I think I gave it a little bit similar one in the off season, but the message to them is still, if playing professional baseball is something you want to do, go for it. Absolutely grind for it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, because absolutely, if you set your mind to it, you absolutely can do it. So I was a guy who, going through JUCO and everything else, there was a lot of people that were telling me that I couldn't do that. And you just work for it, and if it's something you want and you're obsessed with it enough, you can absolutely do it.
Landon, I've taken a lot of your time. Third time I've got a chance to talk to you. It's always a pleasure. So thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.